Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What is going on, listeners? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast. We got myself, Rob Root, here, hanging out with my homie, Kevin Crazy. Kevin, what is going on, man?
Yo. Just enjoyed some Dynamite, man.
My $5 face light fell over.
Oh, no. You're just bragging about that right before we started recording.
I was, too. No, it's off weight without a phone, man. So, yes, Smacked Raw podcast. Tonight we are covering AEW Dynamite. I thought the show was pretty good. But a little bit about the podcast. We are your one-stop shop for AEW, NXT, WWE. That's about it. NXT, maybe one day we're going to do some New Japan. I think Seb did some New Japan, right?
Yeah, I think
Seb and Vince.
Yep, I think they did with Wrestle Kingdom or whatever was it like.
Yeah.
First weekend of January.
Yeah, that was like a 2-day event. Isn't that like their WrestleMania or something?
Yeah, it was like 3 days, I think. I think it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that, though. It was at least 2 days, though.
I wish I had time for that. I really do. I don't even have time for AEW Dark, man. I got more hobbies than just wrestling, guys. I'm sorry. Again, we are your one-stop shop. We cover AEW. We cover all that stuff. We just explain that. If you want to catch us on Twitter, you can catch us at Smacked Raw Pod. Scrolling on the bottom of the screen there on our fancy scroller. You can catch myself right there on the screen at 2 words can't see me. And you can catch Kevin at, I'll let you plug it. Where's it at, bro? Huh?
Yo, it's at Kevin Crazy 316, crazy with a K.
Yeah. Speaking of 316, later on in the show, MJF did an Austin 316 plug, and I missed it. I couldn't note it because I don't know exactly what he said. But
I must have missed it too. I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
holy shit.
He was talking shit about something, and he said that's the Austin 316 factor or something like that. He plugged something Austin 316, and I thought I was like, man, I missed it. I didn't get to
I missed
hear
it too. Shit. I didn't even realize.
It is what it is. Go back and watch it if you got the app or whatever. There was definitely something there. I missed it, but it was there. I heard the Austin 316. And it was Austin 316. It wasn't just subtle. He straight up said Austin 316.
Oh, right on.
Good times. Says I just whipped your ass. All that happy stuff.
Yep.
Hit us up on Twitter. We're not your average. We don't get mad at people. We accept opinions here at the Smack Raw podcast. Unless you're in the Smack Raw podcast chat, then all you NXT suckers are some suckers. The AEW team is superior. The Inner Circle is better than the Undisputed Era. Enough
Jericho.
of the intro. we had AEW Dynamite in Cleveland, Ohio. Any listeners from Ohio, please take this as a joke. I'm from Michigan. Chris Jericho was dissing y'all, and he was right. Yes, so much. Yes. Ugh. That's a joke. I don't really hate y'all. I'm supposed to hate you because I'm from Michigan. I mean, that's what we do. It's
right.
natural. AEW Dynamite from Cleveland. We start out Jon Moxley walking through the crowd looking sexy in his pirate eye patch.
Hell yeah.
Coming to the ring to talk about Chris Jericho and his Revolution match with Chris Jericho. What do you think of Jon Moxley right now? Is he bigger than anybody else in wrestling right now?
I mean, it's hard to say that he isn't. I mean, he's definitely of all the wrestling that I watch, which is Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW, I haven't watched Dark in a while, honestly. But of all the WWE brands and AEW, it's hard to argue against him. I mean, maybe Becky Lynch might be a little over than he is.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
But I mean, as far as AEW, granted, I think he's from Cincinnati. I don't think he's from Cleveland, but he's from Ohio. So I think that was part of the pop that he got tonight. But still, he
did mention that he's from Ohio, and if you're from a different city, if you're from the state, it counts.
Oh, absolutely.
And Ohioans, is that how you say it? Somebody hit me up in the comments if I'm wrong on that. Just like Michiganders, they stick together, man, and they take pride in their state, and that's a big reason that Michigan, myself as a Michigander, is such a rival with Ohio because
Ohio State, right?
Unity, and yes, Ohio State. And I'll plug it super fast. I spent my honeymoon in Cleveland.
Oh, no shit.
We went to Cleveland for 2 Detroit Tigers games, and I got spit on, and I got threatened by 10 kids in an Escalade, and I told the kids, "You're lucky I'm the 1 out of 10 guys from Detroit that won't shoot you." That wasn't true, but it was just a spur of the moment thing. And I asked a guy how to get to the stadium, and he showed me the wrong way.
Oh,
and,
Jesus.
I went to a bar and ordered a beer, and the lady passed me up 10 times, and finally I said, "Look, I gotta go." And she gave me my bill with the beer on the bill. So it was bad, man. That's kind of the reason I'm like, come on, dude, guys, like, it's a friendly rivalry. Yeah, friendly rivalry. That's beside the point. I don't really hate your state, but I do hate those people that did that to me. It's all jokes, guys. It's all jokes.
Yeah.
Moxley's in the ring talking about the inner circle and how they're just a bunch of thugs and they're a bunch of bullies and how they orchestrate nothing but 5-on-1 beatdowns. My opinion on this is, Mox, you could have been 6-on-1. You could have been 6-on-1, but you denied it. It's your bad. You don't want to be on the 5-on-1 side. Whose side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side that's going to stomp the one guy, or the side of the guy that's getting stomped? I mean,
I hear you, and I know you wanted him to join.
I really
bad.
I popped so hard when he faked it. I popped so hard.
Oh, so I thought it was great. I didn't want him to join at all. Like, I don't know. I like that, badass anti-hero babyface. I mean, Steve Austin, for crying out fucking loud. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he really resonates with me. I like Moxley a lot, so I was really happy to join. But you're right. I mean, Inner Circle is going to, dominate AEW, I imagine, but we'll see. I mean, because I can't imagine Moxley's not going to win at Revolution, next one.
That's valid. That's valid. I do like what Moxley's doing. I really do. But anybody on here who knows me knows I got to play the heel. I'm all about the inner circle. I love my heels. But I do also, I leave kayfabe sometimes. I'm so ready for Jon Moxley to take Chris Jericho's title. Like, the way that the seed that they're planting, I was all about Jericho being the starter guy, but the starter guy segment is over. It's over. Move on. People know who you are. Those who are going to latch on have latched on. Mm-hmm. Jon Moxley's going to win this title at Revolution. And if he doesn't, there's something.
Oh, it's going to be riots.
Like,
Chicago's going to burn if he doesn't win.
But it's not going to burn too long because the wind is going to put out.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes are the best. So Moxley's in the ring. He calls out Chris Jericho and basically says, "Why wait a month for Revolution for me to kick your ass? Let me kick your ass tonight." And boom, Chris Jericho's music hits. Is this a Fozzy song? Is that Jericho singing?
Yep.
Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure. I'm going to add that song to my Spotify playlist because it's actually a catchy track.
Yeah, it's not bad. It is what it is, I guess. Pro wrestler doing heavy metal,
Right? I mean, and later on we'll get to Butcher and Blade, and I was going to ask you about a pro wrestler doing heavy metal.
Yes.
At least Jericho's good. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, it's good.
He's one of those dudes to me, Jericho. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Go ahead. You're good.
That's like so talented, you just get pissed at him. It's just like he can just do everything so fucking well, and you're like, what are you goddamn bad at? Just do one thing,
You can hate him kayfabe, but once you leave kayfabe, my man's out there 50 years old, looking sexy in some sunglasses with his own song as his entrance music.
As a heel, and people are fucking singing along to it. It's ridiculous.
It's so valid. It's so valid. He's definitely going to go down. Did he make the Hall of Fame? Like WWE Hall of Fame?
The only reason why I could see that he wouldn't have made it is because WWE fucking hates him, but he definitely deserves to be in it. If he's not, really I don't know for sure.
And if he doesn't, he's in the Hall of Fame in my heart. Chris Jericho is so good. He's
arguably the GOAT, man, as far as I'm concerned. Like, him and Ric Flair, I would say, maybe, in all seriousness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's debatable.
No. I think it's Well, I'm saying I think you could have that conversation like for real. It's not like far fetched. You know what I'm saying?
Right. For sure. So Jericho, speaking of the GOAT, Jericho's on the stage. He brings up Jon Moxley's mom. Like,
yeah, it's kind of
dude,
weird.
You're talking trash about his mom in the back room. That's excellent. I would never ever expect to see that on my wrestling show. But he's talking about his mom and how he apologized to his mom, but it's Moxley's fault for turning it down. And then Jericho basically tells, I noted it here, but I don't know what led to the joke, but he told Moxley that he doesn't even have what it takes to blink with both eyes.
Yeah, I popped for that, for sure. That was hilarious.
So Jericho starts talking. He's like, Moxley challenges me. Do you want to see it tonight? He tells Cleveland to go to hell. You're not going to see it. So amazing. I popped so hard. Cleveland, you suck. That's friendly, you suck, but you suck. He brings up the inner circle. Sammy Guevara, our homies Santana Ortiz, come hang out. Talks more trash. Oh, you want to say we bring 5-on-1 and we're thugs and blah, blah, blah. So what's he do? He brings out 5 more thugs. You got 10-on-1. You got 10-on-1 in Cleveland. Just like I said, I had 10 kids in an Escalade talking trash to me. That must be how they do it in Cleveland.
Yeah, you know the feeling. You were definitely in Moxley's shoes, at one point.
So bad. So things escalate. Jericho talks trash, and it breaks down to Jon Moxley jumping at the 10 guys. Sammy Guevara, was it Guevara that came down and Moxley thunked him? And then he jumped into the rest of the 9 guys. My first thought... Was it
Santana Ortiz. Okay, I can't remember. It was one of those two, but I don't remember which one.
The dude out there looking like the headhunter when he's got the when he's got the afro puff. The first thing my thought was Randy Orton. Stupid.
Yes.
You just try to jump 9 guys. But at the same time, that was just a funny plug. It's Jon Moxley. If he didn't try to jump 10 guys, people would be like, you're not Jon Moxley. You're a fraud. Jon Moxley would try to jump 10 guys. So it's a big brawl. They fight each other, and Moxley ends up leaving, and that was your starting segment. I thought it was a good starting segment. Planting seeds for Evolution.
Yep. And you know what? Moxley, I thought, looked stronger than he deserved to look with 10 dudes trying to beat him up, too, Like, he DDT'd like 2 or 3 of them, what the hell?
Right. It's so good. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's 9-on-1. I don't care who you are. You're going to get thunked. But like you said, Moxley, with the exception of Becky Lynch right now, is the biggest thing in wrestling. I mean, that's debatable, but for what we're saying, he's the biggest thing in wrestling.
He's definitely the biggest star in AEW
right. That's valid. And he can take on 9 guys. And how do you plant the seed that he's going to beat Chris Jericho? Look, I just took out 9 guys.
Yeah.
You're going to send one of me, the old guy, the 50-year-old?
Yep.
I got him. I got this.
What? And you know what else? He took his beating like a man, which is what he said Chris Jericho wouldn't do. So
right.
And that was badass.
When he was in the crowd, though, his eye patch kind of slipped off. I'm so glad they had a Band-Aid under it because, like, it's kind of like a Phantom of the Opera thing. What if there wasn't a Band-Aid under it? Yeah, it just looks like a play. And then JR, you got to plug JR in his bad commentary. He's like, the eye looks terrible. No, the eye looked just fine. It just had a Band-Aid over it.
Yeah, it didn't look bad at all. Like, it's not even swollen or anything.
Why did it look fine? Because it's a kayfabe needle that he stuck in, or a kayfabe spike that he stuck in it, and it didn't really hit him. He blocked it with his knuckle. So he's just fine, JR. Sometimes you got to hold back. No, it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, you don't need to sell it when it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Especially on commentary.
It's all right, though. My man comes from the Attitude Era, and he's still living it. We love good old JR. We love his barbecue sauce that Britt Baker
he's a legend.
Later on in the show. So following this segment, we had Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny against the Young Buckaroos. MJF comes out with Butcher and Blade. MJF is a freaking star on commentary.
Yep.
He talks so much trash, and it's just so excellent.
Yeah.
The stuff that
best heel in wrestling as far as I'm concerned. He's incredible.
He's so good. He's talking about the Young Bucks. And he's like, the Young Bucks didn't get trained by anybody. They're backyarders.
I know.
MJF, that's a good thing. I'm sorry. Like, that's a good thing. I mean, back in the day, there was even a video game made.
Backyard wrestling.
Backyard wrestling. I mean, so I popped. It was freaking funny because he's talking about how Butcher and Blade were trained by some MMA guy. I didn't catch who they said. I don't really follow MMA. But, and I mean, they got trained by them. The Young Bucks trained themselves, but the Young Bucks were 3 years old putting each other through tables, MJF.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pick and choose your battles on this one.
Right.
The match was a normal. I wouldn't say normal match, but it wasn't as spot festy as I personally like out of AEW.
No, actually, and I was surprised by that too. To be honest with you, especially with the Young Bucks being in there.
Right.
I mean, but I don't have a problem with it. Like you man. I like that stuff, honestly.
Right. I mean, I'm all about the spot fest. I really am. That's why, like, if I had to choose, I'll say it right now, AEW over WWE right now, I'd choose AEW. Part of it is because of the spot fest. I like the spot fest. They only do it when it makes sense. And like I was about to say, you got the Young Bucks against Butcher and Blade. Blade is they're both like 50 years old. With no disrespect at all. They can still handle their own, but you can't spot fest a 50-year-old dude doing flipsy doos off the top rope. Flipsy doos right there, flipsy doos.
Yeah, flipsy doos.
You can't have them doing that, so it wouldn't make sense to have one half spot festing and the other half not.
Right. Yep.
But they did have a couple in there because they had the Bucks did a double backflip and then a double drop kick while Butcher or Blade, one of the two, was on the ground. That was cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Which one's in the metal band? You brought up a metal band. I mentioned this earlier. Who's in the metal band?
I can't remember if it's Butcher or the Blade. I'm pretty sure it's the Butcher. He's in a band called Every Time I Die.
Every Time. Okay, that's what it was. I knew who the band was because last time you mentioned that, I heard of them, and that band is amazing. So any listeners out there, if you're into metal, Every Time I Die, Butcher or Blade, one of the two is in this band, and they're amazing. They're excellent metal. If you're into metal, throw them on your Spotify playlist, your freaking YouTubes, and whatever you do. It's excellent. It's such good music. They're so good.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, like, I think I said it in the chat. I mean, they're local dudes, so I have to plug them some, you know. And, like, you know, I'm not from Buffalo, I'm Rochester, so it's like, Rochester's like Buffalo's little brother, essentially.
Being a man from Michigan, I am kind of from Detroit. I did spend the first 12 years of my life in Detroit, but I moved away. But I will still say I'm from Detroit, so I feel you. I'm from
Fair
Detroit.
enough.
I live 8 miles away from 8 Mile, but I'm still from Detroit. So
there you go.
I feel you.
Hey, I hear you. But I feel like I'm like legally obligated to love like Every Time I Die. You know, because they've just been they plug Buffalo all over the place and shit. They're just really cool. And they've been around for like 20 years. So
that's me and the White Stripes, bro. I mean,
there you go.
Jack White's from Detroit, so I mean, I gotta show them love. You know what I'm saying? Like, Seven Nation Army. When I was in a metal band, was one of the first things I ever learned how to play on guitar. So I mean, good times.
Nice.
Back to the show though. I do have like 3 or 4 tracks that I can show you that I've actually never showed you. I had a mini studio in my basement. We practiced 7 days a week, and it was good times. Like, and then, you know, adulting happened, so I sold my guitar for a PlayStation.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I used to play in a bunch of stupid, like, get drunk pop punk bands, like 3/4, like Ramones-y kind of stuff. And when I moved out to Denver a few years back, obviously I moved back. I sold my drums then because I really, really needed money. So, you know.
I really needed money because as an adult, I can play PlayStation. I don't have time to be in a band, though.
Oh, there's that, too. So
even trade.
Yep.
So back to the show. Matt Jackson caught a hot tag that wasn't really a hot tag. Like, there's times where, like, I was watching... I forget what it was, some kind of special or something, or somewhere I caught that when you're looking for a hot tag in wrestling, if my hand is down, I'm not ready for it. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. Fake it. But if I flip my hand, then let's go. Let's pop the crowd. Give me the tag. And ever since then, I pay attention to hot tags. And he flipped his hand up, and the tag happened, and it wasn't really a hot tag. I was kind of bummed. I'm like, the pop was kind of weak. Yeah. But anyway, Matt Jackson comes in. Little tidbit there. If the hand's up, they're ready for the tag. Matt Jackson comes in, cleans house, flips dudes off the ropes, flips dudes outside of the ring. And then it ends up in New Age. Blade catches a Meltzer driver and catches the pin. 1, 2, 3. While MJF is still talking trash on the mic over the commentary.
So good. Speaking of MJF, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but AEW is coming to Rochester in March.
Nice.
And I want to go really bad, and I want to start like a campaign to buy MJF a fucking garbage plate. Now, a garbage plate. It's a regional thing to Rochester. It's the most disgusting food you could ever imagine, but it's so goddamn good. But I know he talked shit about it if he knew what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's great.
Like, what it is like it's a bed of French fries, and then you put either macaroni salad or potato salad on that, and then you put, like, chili on top of that, and then you top it with either hot dogs or cheeseburgers, and then you put whatever condiments.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it fucking is. Like, it's so good. So I would love to know that MJF ate a goddamn garbage plate and hated it while he was in Rochester.
Oh man! Speaking of, I went to when I was in Cleveland on my honeymoon. A thing they had was like French fries and sauerkraut on a burger with like cheese, and then there was more fries like on the side.
No
and
shit.
I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll try it. And like, I don't like my meat bleeding. I used to not like it even red. I like my stuff well done. I've grown and I've learned to be a man, and I will eat my meat pink. I won't eat it bleeding. But long story short, they gave me this burger still bleeding. And I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm so hungry right now, though. I took a bite, and it was the best burger I've ever had in my entire life. It was literally bleeding on my plate, but I didn't care. It had like sauerkraut on it and French fries and pickles. It was just messy, the messiest burger I've ever had. It was so good, bleeding all over my plate. And it was at a place called Friendly's. Anybody in Ohio, go to Friendly's. I want a Friendly's in Michigan. I would. Oh man.
Nice.
Back to the show though.
We're totally off the rails.
That's all right. We're usually we have half-hour shows. That's not happening tonight.
Right. Yeah.
So Butcher takes a Meltzer driver, gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Omega and Adam Page come out and start beating up Butcher and Blade because. Oh wait, what happened here? Okay, Butcher and Blade jumped the Bucks, and then Adam Page and Omega come out. And Adam Page came out with a beer and had a hold my beer moment and stomped out Butcher and Blade. And I think that entire spot was solely to have Adam Page say hold my beer.
Yeah.
It worked so well. It worked so well. And then there was a kid in the crowd. He had a sign that said hold my root beer. I thought that was
I didn't see that.
It was like a dad holding like a baby. He was like 3 years old and it said hold my root beer.
That's awesome.
That's fine. That's great. So next we had probably my favorite thing in AEW, Nyla Rose versus Big Swole.
You forgot the backstage thing with, or did that happen after the match? I don't remember.
Was
it Kenny Omega and Adam Page and the Young Bucks?
That was later.
Okay, my bad. I'm fired.
Hold on, wait. No. I know I noted it because I was like, we got to say this at least happened. Okay, yeah, that's later. I got that. That's later.
Okay. Well, then I'm a jerk.
You're good, man. You're good. No, you're just trying to make sure we cover everything for these awesome listeners we got.
Absolutely.
Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. When did Nyla Rose become number one contender?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Chris Statlander last week?
Well, she had the match against Rio, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she did. She lost.
Yeah.
And then it became what happened to I'm so bad with AEW names. I remember WWE names like that, but
Britt Baker? Was she the one that was
not Britt Baker. Not Britt Baker. The Japanese one in the red suit with the underwear
Jesus.
that's like halfway cut.
Hikaru Shida? Is that her name?
Yes. Okay. What happened to her?
I don't know.
All of a sudden she's not a thing no more? Now it's Nyla Rose? I mean, did something happen on Dark that I missed?
Well, they did show something on Dark about Nyla Rose. She won a match yesterday. Technically it would have been last week or whatever.
She put Sherry through a table.
Yeah, and I think that might be what put her in number one contention. I'm not sure about that, but that's the only thing I can think that might have.
Because, like, I mean, those who listen, I don't pay 100% attention to, like, the standings and stuff, but all of a sudden Nyla Rose is number one when last week she wasn't even, like, in top 5. Well, maybe she was top 5. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm still about it because I think Nyla Rose is seriously my favorite thing in AEW. Like, what she's doing is amazing. Nyla Rose against Big Swole. Nothing against Big Swole, but, like, all I can think was Nyla Rose need to squash Swole, move on, and squash Rio. Like, literally. Flatten her like a pancake because she's 90 pounds and the belt weighs more than her.
Probably.
Take her title. Take her title.
Yeah.
Swole takes early control, blows back and forth. Swole hits a cutter, and I thought she was going to get the pin off this freaking cutter.
So did I.
But then she kicked out. But that's one of my favorite things about AEW. Like, when it comes to WWE and the false threes they have, I don't like them. The spots are kind of, like, they overdo it. But AEW, like, their false threes are like, that could have been a 3. Like, that was legit. I thought it was about to happen. Yep. So, Nyla ends up hitting her sitting on powerbomb. It was a good back and forth match. They made it like it wasn't a squash. Like, I was ready for Swole to get squashed, but that's just because Nyla Rose has like become my favorite thing. But it wasn't a squash, and you can't squash Swole. Like, she's good. She's out there doing her thing. She gets hit with the sit down powerbomb. My only issue is Nyla Rose is like this big girl, and her finish move is the sit-down powerbomb. I mean, what is she, Kevin Nash from 1996?
That's valid, you know. You're right. I mean, she could come up with something, you know,
like
more creative.
At least, like, a Vader bomb. Boom.
Yeah, that was
the girl's like 300 pounds. I mean, she's not 300 pounds, but you get what I'm saying.
She's bigger than any other woman on the right now. That's
have her do a Vader bomb or like, I don't know, like a Bailey to belly suplex, only she lands on her opponent. There you go.
Only it looks cool.
It's a sit down power bomb. Anybody can do it, but if you take your weight into an advantage, like the Vader bomb, I don't know.
I hear you.
That might be bitching and moaning, but I don't do that much with AEW.
No, I mean, I think that's a valid point, especially like with, you know, like calling her the Beast and shit like that.
Right.
Think about all the creative things that you could even like call whatever the hell she does, you know. Mm-hmm. So who knows?
Right.
You know, hopefully something cooler will come up. I mean, it is a nasty sit down power bomb that she does, but I hear you. I hear you though.
It still doesn't quite match her. She needs more fierce. She needs more oomph in what she does.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely about her taking the title. I really am.
Oh, me too. Me too. Because to your point, I was surprised that ended the match. The sit-down powerbomb, you know? Like, I was like, because it felt a lot more even at that point to me, and I was like, really? That is her finisher? I mean, it's good, and she does it really well, and Swole did a good job of selling it. Like, don't get me wrong, it looked great, but I was like, really? That's the end, you know? Like, I don't know.
It could have been worse, though. It could have been worse. I mean, it could be like, you know, a turnaround elbow. Or
yeah, Judas effect. Yeah, that's probably the weakest finisher right now. I'm sorry, Jericho. I love you. God damn it, that finisher.
At least he makes it look hard. I don't know. Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Cody Rhodes with our man Arn Anderson.
Yes.
How hot is Penelope Ford, man?
Yo. Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
The sunglasses and the leather and it's absolutely amazing. Kip Sabian starts the match real strong. He started this match crazy strong with Cody. He had him pressed up. I thought he was about to do a torture rack. and then he flopped it to like a backbreaker. I thought he was going to get this pin in 30 seconds. I legit thought Cody was about to get squashed, and I would have been okay with that. Because Cody can still come back from a squash. He's Cody Rhodes. He can come back from anything.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It would have been so great. But, you know.
It would have been cool, and it would have went towards their more, like, sports feel to me, too, because, you know, I mean, part of the reason why because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with what happened with the last Conor McGregor. He went out and squashed that guy in 5 seconds. Well, I think the match lasted 15 seconds. Get out of it. You know, sometimes that happens. You know what I mean? And it would be kind of cool if that happened sometimes in pro, when it wasn't just a squash match. You know what I mean? When it wasn't just some no-name ass out there against Cody Rhodes or, you know, WWE, like every other Viking Raiders, you know, and shit like that. Like, sometimes that happens, you know.
All right, we got a bad connection going on. This is not good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're breaking up bad. And, like, I can't really look at Discord because it'll break the feed.
That's to do fine on my
end. Sorry, listeners. This is the first time I've experienced this. It's all part of production.
Whoop.
All right, let's see. That whoop came through just fine.
Well, that's all that really
matters. Okay, we're gonna try to just roll with it. Sorry, guys. You know, that's what happens when you produce a podcast. It happens.
Given a character.
Yeah. Kip starts strong. I done lost my place in my notes here. Kip starts strong. I was ready for a 30-second finish. Penelope Ford and Arn Anderson are both a thing in this match. Cody Rhodes accidentally knocked out Penelope Ford. And I was looking away. I was actually taking notes. And I looked up and Penelope Ford is knocked out. And Cody Rhodes, being the Class A act that he is, said, holy shit, I knocked out a woman. She's a timeout. We got to make sure she's okay. And he picks her up. And he's like, oh, my God, are you okay? And she's playing possum for Kip Sabian to come and take advantage. And me being the heel guy, I said, yes, do it again. Do it again. Yeah. Fucking fake it. Cody hit you. He's an asshole. You know, whatever. And
he's an ass.
Ford and Arn Anderson are still a thing going back and forth. And I didn't really catch why, but Penelope Ford's shoe ended up coming off. Did you see how it came off?
No, but that's hilarious.
I just know it came off because all of a sudden Arn Anderson was in the center of the ring holding it, showing it to the referee. So Penelope Ford is being a bitch right now, and she's cheating, and you're not seeing it. And he throws her shoe into the crowd.
No, you know what? I was making dinner. Making myself food.
You didn't see it? He had her shiny shoe in the crowd, or in the middle of the ring, and she's on the ring like, yo, what are you doing? And he throws it into the crowd. And you heard awesome. Penelope Ford like, what are you doing?
That's awesome. That's incredible.
So excellent. The problem with this is the referee ejected Arn Anderson. Come on. He's trying to tell you that she's cheating, and you're like, I'm going to eject you. No, he's not the heel here. But it is what it is. It made for great storytelling.
For sure.
The first thing I thought was, oh, my God, Penelope Ford's going to pull some heel shit now because Arn Anderson's not there to stop her. And before I could even finish taking that note, Penelope Ford freaking Hurricane Rana's Cody. Or whatever she did. I didn't see it, but I know she got him. I couldn't even finish taking the note.
That's good booking. So, you know,
it really is. Yeah. It really is. Arn Anderson didn't even have time to leave the arena, and she's like,
I know.
Got you.
Yeah, he was like not even hardly out of the ringside area before she did that, you know? Like he was still walking up the ramp to the backstage, you know? Like
it's so good. It's so good. So they're going back and forth. This match was amazing. Not at one point in this match did you think that one man was going to beat the other. It was so even the way they pulled it off. But Cody Rhodes ends up hitting a Cody Cutter, which if you haven't seen, it's a sick RKO / Diamond Cutter that he jumps on the ropes and back springboards and drops an RKO. And then he picks him up for 3 crossroads. 3.
Yeah, that was
boom,
bad.
boom, boom. Gets the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
This was a great match. It really was.
It really, really was, yeah.
This was how you not spot fest and still have an excellent match. And
Yep.
this
Good.
is how you have a manager interfere, unlike Zelina Vega and Andrade. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's just, I just don't like Zelina Vega. Meanwhile, before tonight, I didn't care too much for Penelope Ford until I seen what she can do tonight. Boom. Perfect.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. It wasn't too much. You didn't completely blow the match doing some dumb shit.
Yep.
It was great.
Well, what I missed a little bit of it though, because I know Joey Janela, like he was in the crowd or something, like when Penelope and Kip Sabian like went to go kiss, and like he got in between them, so they both kissed his cheek, and he was just laughing.
I did not see that part. I seen the kiss, but I didn't. Wow, did I miss it that hard? Was I so? I was so. When I do this, guys, I'm so worried about taking notes so I don't miss anything for you guys. So I missed stuff like that. Like, wow, I didn't even see that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I didn't really see exactly how it came about because, like I said, I was making food and shit while this match was going on, which I kind of regret. But you know, I when I sat down one time, I saw that, you know, Joey Janela in between the two of them, and I was like, that's awesome. Because I mean, obviously, they're starting to build a feud between Kip Sabian and Joey Janela, and I am here for that.
I was just gonna
awesome.
say, that's how you book, man. Like the problem is WWE has like sometimes 2 weeks between pay-per-views. How do you book that? How do you? Meanwhile, AEW has 3-4 months between pay-per-views. So you got time to slow book stuff. These guys have been going at it for weeks, but they haven't went at it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so ready for that moment to happen in the ring where they just start throwing blows. Okay, I'm fighting you at Revolution now. Like, let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
And have Penelope Ford do what she did tonight because Janela's still in love with her.
Yep.
Even though he's not.
And well, and they started planting the seeds for that a couple of weeks ago, too.
Yes.
So it's like all of that makes a lot of sense, you know. And, yeah, I mean, please book that match for Revolution. You know, please book that match.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I like the 3-month booking over the 2-week booking.
Oh,
maybe that's part of the reason why I'd be AEW over WWE, because I don't care about WWE storylines. I really don't. You can throw anything random at me, complete random SmackDowns where nothing makes sense, but I don't care. I'm in it for the show. But AEW, okay, what's gonna happen? Kip Sabian and Joey Janela for real? Like in a month? Let's go.
Yeah, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in between that to make me want to watch it even?
Right. You know? Meanwhile, WWE, the same shit's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Britt Baker looking sexy in her red skirt and not ring gear. Tony Schiavone promo. Last week, I hated Britt Baker. You do not trash talk Tony Schiavone. You don't do it. Tony Schiavone is a legend. This week, Britt Baker won my heart. You know what? You go ahead. You trash talk Tony Schiavone. You trash talk Jim Ross because you fully heel, and it's amazing. And you did so well.
Well, and the point that she made was totally valid too. You know what I'm saying? Like when she was like, what was something about like you overrated barbecue salesman. You can't even remember the wrestlers' names in AEW or something like that. And I was like,
the names of our roster right.
Yeah, there you go. And it's totally fucking true. You know what? I love JR, but that is so true.
It's such an amazing way to turn a negative into a positive. You know, oh man, Jim Ross botched names. You know what? You botched names. You can't even sell barbecue sauce.
I know. It was so good.
Problem fixed. Fixed.
Yep.
So Britt Baker, generic. I won't say generic, but same as last week, talking shit about Tony Schiavone. Before us, you worked at Starbucks, and then tonight she faced at Jim Ross. You're a barbecue salesman. You can't even get our names right. Excellent freaking promo. And she's talking about, I'm a dentist. Like, what are you? You're a Starbucks salesman. I'm a dentist.
She made the joke about him like having gingivitis, or
yes.
Yeah, that was
She's
funny
like, just standing on the ramp here, I can diagnose you with smelly gingivitis.
Yeah,
it's so good. I'm on board with Britt Baker being a heel.
I agree though, man. Because last week, I don't know what it was last week. Maybe she just botched the promo or something. Because like she was crisp this week, you know what I mean? Like she was on point.
Yeah. And then she gets mad at JR for cutting her off last week. I mean, there's a difference. This week you pulled it off. Last week, I don't know. I don't know what it was. So after this, we had a Young Bucks backstage promo. Hey,
there you go. There you go. I was just doing foreshadowing, folks. That's all.
Yeah, buddy. We was just getting y'all hyped for this awesome promo we had, because it wasn't an awesome promo. What happened was absolutely amazing. The Young Bucks are in the back talking to. I didn't even catch her name. They have a new backstage, and they said that it's basically her first time on there.
Okay.
Talking to the Young Bucks. We're the Young Bucks. Yeah, go us. We're the Young Bucks. Drunk Adam Page walks into the camera. And Kenny Omega was already back there.
Yeah.
And Drunk Adam Page walks in the camera view, and he's like, "Hey, Young Bucks." He's like, "We got our nameplates today. Did you see our new nameplates?" And he's showing off his belt. He's like, "Oh, we got one for you too." And he hands one of the Young Bucks the nameplates. He's like, "Here, you're gonna need these eventually."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it's like Adam Page was clearly throwing shade, and like Kenny Omega was like trying to like, kind of mitigate what was going on. Like, I'm in like maybe at Revolution, that's the match we're gonna get. Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Young Bucks.
I'd be so about it. Oh,
yeah,
just because of tonight's promo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've kind of like, with the way that Adam Page has been like kind of and shit like that, I feel like they're kind of building that anyway. But now it's like been cemented, for me anyway. That like Adam Page he wants. Well, I don't know that he wants the Young Bucks, but he's all about like being like, hey, we're the champs before you losers. You're supposed to be the best tag team in the world. What the hell are you doing? Like, we're singles guys, but we want the tag belt before you. Like,
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like, here's your nameplates. You don't need them, but we do.
Yeah. And Kenny Omega's like, whoa, yeah. I mean, we'll have that match, but he was just like really flustered. It was just perfect. It was really, really good.
It really was, and it's looking like they're gonna plant the seeds for Young Bucks versus Omega and Page at Revolution. Elite versus Elite.
Yeah,
I'm so about it. Just like Jon Moxley's top guy. How do you get the title on Jon Moxley but not slap it on him right away? Exactly what they're doing. Now, Young Bucks, arguably your best tag team. How do you get the titles on them but not slap it on them right away? Oh, book Elite versus Elite. At the first pay-per-view of the year.
Yep. Well, I have a feeling that Kenny Omega's itching to turn heel too. So we'll see. Maybe him and Adam Page will both turn heel, and they'll just,
Yeah, it very well could be. It very well. I mean, I think Page will be too drunk to go heel.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Page is definitely going heel after that interview. Are you kidding me? Like.
So after this, we get announced that next week, it's going to be an 8-man tag match: Omega and Page and the Young Buckaroos versus Butcher and Blade in a tag team of their choice. Later on, I forgot to note that they announced who it was, so I'll say it now. Butcher and Blade chose the. Why am I drawing a complete blank? I said it, guys. I can't remember freaking AEW names.
The Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros. That's what, yes, the Lucha Bros. That's going to be good.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope Adam Page turns on all those assholes in that match. Like, I hope he turns on the Bucks. Like, give it to me, please.
There you go. There you go. That's perfect. And like I just had a moment because I was about to trash talk this match. Well, not trash talk it. I don't like big tag matches. I don't
either.
I don't like 6-man tag matches. But that's just me. But you just said it. Boom. That's how you plant the seed for Young Bucks against Omega and Page at Revolution.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Fuck you, Bucks. I'm drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. And it doesn't even seem like he's getting along with Kenny Omega, to be honest with you. You know, like, even after, like, their title defense, like, last week or whatever, like, or when they won it. They won it last week, right? Or week before.
Yeah, it was last week.
Like, Page just left. And Kenny Omega's, like, you know, celebrating in the ring. And, like, Adam Page is, like, crowd surfing to the bar or some shit, you know? Like,
so
you know?
So, yes, next week, Butcher Blade, Lucha Bros versus Omega Page and the Young Bucks. And I guess we're predicting it right now. And Adam Page heel turn. And Young Bucks take the titles at Revolution while Jon Moxley takes the title from Chris Jericho. And your real AEW starts. There we go. We'll say it at that. Next.
I would agree. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I agree with you that I think that Jericho, you know, the right choice for the first champion. I mean, he's recognizable. But, you know, more to your point, too, is like you've been saying is that they are established now. And they've built legitimate stars in AEW that are organic. So let's start putting them over.
Mm-hmm. You had your honeymoon phase. You had your names. Now let's give it to the real fans that are here now.
Exactly.
So next up, shout to Vince and Seb, because y'all all about Kobe. You had SCU coming out in Kobe jerseys. Why? Like, I didn't know. No offense to anybody. I'm not a basketball fan, so this Kobe thing didn't hit me like most. No offense to anybody at all. None whatsoever.
Right.
Why is there 8 and 24? Did Kobe leave LA and come back?
I don't know for sure. I'm not a big basketball guy either.
Right.
I know that was both of his jersey numbers at one point. So I don't know. I really don't know. Vince or Seb would probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them in the chat because, like, I know they retired number 8 and 24, and like I seen that, and I thought it was like O'Neal and Kobe, and I was seeing pictures of that. I don't know. That's beside the point. Like I said, no offense to anybody, no disrespect whatsoever. I'm not a basketball guy, so I don't. I mean, I followed my Pistons 1 year, and it was 2004, and that's for obvious reasons. We won the championship.
Right.
It is what it is. I'm not a basketball guy. So SCU in Kobe jerseys versus Hybrid 2. I have my first real legit complaint about AEW. Who the hell are these guys? Who the hell are these generic ass Tecmo Team 2000 tag team? What am I seeing on my screen? Are you going generic? Like, am I wrong for feeling that way? Is this a generic tag team, or am I just overthinking it?
Well, I'll be honest with you, because I remember, I think they had a match during Double or Nothing, the first pay-per-view that they did, AEW, and I remember feeling exactly the fucking same way you do right now. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate them as much as I used to. But, like, this is only, like, the second or third match that I've seen of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's, like, ever. You know? I don't really care about it. You know? Like, but, yeah, I mean, a Hybrid 2, what a dumb fucking name.
Right, dude, right. Like,
you know?
I don't remember ever seeing them. And, again, this is my third time saying it. I have a hard time remembering names for AEW. I have a bad memory. That's all there is to it. I don't remember ever seeing these guys. And with AEW, I'm on board with them 100%. And everything has a purpose. Like, even, like, the Nightmare Collective, as much as I don't really like it, I see what they're doing. I see what they're trying to do. These guys that came out, and and for my old school fans out there, Tecmo Team 2000. You had dudes out there trying to look futuristic that just look dumb as hell. And it made no sense. They jobbed to everybody. They look stupid. That's what you got with Hybrid 2, the dumb entrance. They were dancing looking stupid. Your outfits were dumb. You didn't have I can't say I was gonna say they didn't have talent in the ring. That's going too far. I didn't.
I like their in-ring stuff. Like they do some do's and stuff, you know?
And like they mentioned that they had like 27 years combined in-ring experience. I think they had to plug that because they were like, oh shit, guys, this team is dumb. Let's throw these guys at the actual wrestlers.
They had to have commentary put them over that much.
They just fell into another bad contract. That's not the Indies. All this, they're on a major stage now. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it bugged me. Like I'm like, these guys are freaking stupid. Basic back and forth match. Nothing.
No, I mean you had to know that SCU was going to win that. This was my piss break. I didn't even watch the match. I wrote basic back and forth match, hoping I was right. I'm not even gonna lie. This was my piss break. And you know what I did? I made popcorn. Perfect. No, I mean I agree. It was definitely for me the worst match of the night. I mean that doesn't mean that it was bad by any stretch of the imagination. But, I mean, it was pretty easy to tell who was going to win just by, like, the entrance, for fuck's sake. You know what I'm saying? Like, SCU was pumped up when they came out wearing the Kobe Bryant jerseys, like you were saying. Hybrid 2 looked bored to me. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to look futuristic, but you're looking like Hackers from 1995, the movie. With their freaking computer simulations of things going whoop, 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 and like simulated computer circuit boards. And it just.
With their best friends, Matthew Lillard and Angelina Jolie.
Right. Like, it's in that place that I put that thing that one time. I mean, it's just not there. It's not there. Props to these guys, and if they keep being on my TV, cool, make a paycheck. You've had 27 years of wrestling experience. You deserve it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see you anymore.
I don't want to.
And every time I do, I will bitch about you on my podcast.
I'm making popcorn.
I'll make popcorn. That's it. Every time I see you, it's popcorn time.
And not in a good way. Not in Terrell Owens' way.
So, you mean Ocho Cinco? So
No, Terrell Owens, man. He was the one that would say, get your popcorn ready. I remember that. Trust me, because he was a Buffalo Bill for 1 year. And,
That's my quarterback.
He was a Buffalo Bill for 1 year. And my brother and a buddy of mine went to a game that year, and they made big popcorn, hats to wear to the game because Terrell Owens was playing in the game. It was hilarious.
So I gotta plug it super, super fast. Sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry, man. I gotta plug it super fast because you mentioned a good player being on your football team for a year. The Detroit Pistons traded for Allen Iverson. Okay, they traded Tayshaun Prince and they traded Chauncey Billups, the two biggest pieces we had of a championship basketball team. They traded for Allen Iverson. When the Pistons won the championship, we were a pass the ball before you shoot it kind of team. Allen Iverson is a give me the ball, I'm going to do it all kind of guy. When it happened, I'm like, Allen Iverson's going to crumble the Detroit Pistons. We ain't won shit since we traded for Allen Iverson. The point of this is the same day the Detroit Lions traded for Dante Culpepper. MVP quarterback. Well, nobody talking about that. I'm like, y'all some assholes right now. Y'all are like, we getting Allen Iverson. I'm like, Allen Iverson's going to ruin our basketball team, but we got a guy that can throw for touchdown passes, but you don't care. Okay? Get the fuck out of here right now with your Allen Iverson. And what happened? Allen Iverson ruined the Detroit Pistons. We ain't won a game since. I had to throw it out there. I'm sorry.
Plus, Allen Iverson had the best sports press conference ever.
We ain't here talking about practicing.
Yeah. Was that when he was on the Pistons, or was that before? I don't remember.
That was when he was on the Sixers.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that is because Steve Porter made a freaking auto-tune remake out of it. We ain't here talking about practicing. Allen Iverson, you practice. I don't care how big you are. You're never bigger than practice. I'm sorry.
Goddamn right.
You're not bigger than practice. So I had to plug it. I'm sorry, listeners. I had to plug it because that is a memory that I'll take to my grave. The fact that we got Allen Iverson. No, we got a guy that's going to ruin our basketball team. I don't care how good you are. And then we got a guy that might make our football team better, but we're never going to have a good football
Nobody
team.
cares.
So, you got a guy that came from Minnesota, our rival that wrecked on us for years. But you don't care. You care about the guy that's not going to pass the basketball. I'll never forget it, man. Like, I think I'm the only guy in Detroit that looked at it that way, but that's just
probably, yeah. Yeah.
So, way off subject. Private Party, the Street Profit ripoff, I'll say it, plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. This is our main event. My first
weird
thought
pairing,
this,
by the way. I just wanted to say with Private Party and Darby Allin. I didn't like that.
I don't like 6-man tags. And AEW is. I actually got two things to say about this. AEW is stirring away from why I choose them over WWE, because with AEW everything made sense. But like you just said, Private Party versus and Darby Allin. Why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool. I'm cool, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I will probably say it again next week, and the week after, and the week after that. You're a company that says rankings matter, okay? So you're going to screw 3 of these guys in rankings for no reason whatsoever. Private Party and Darby Allin. I like them both, but not together. So that's my first complaint. My second complaint is... I'm sorry to cut you off, but my second complaint is you had Jon Moxley start the show and challenge Chris Jericho. Me and you, let's fight tonight. Let's go. Cool. I'm all about that. But no, you knew Chris Jericho was in a stupid tag team match for the main event. Why you have Jon Moxley challenge him? No, he's going to say no because he's already in a stupid match.
Or put Jon Moxley in that 6-man tag match.
There you go. It wouldn't make sense.
That would have been cool.
It would fix the first issue.
Yeah.
No, John, I'm not fighting you. Singles, but we got this 6-man tag match later, and we got a spot open. You want to be in it instead of Darby?
You know what?
No, you know what? Yes, I do, Chris. With my wife.
You know what? I would have even forgiven the Private Party match. You know, I would have just been like, I mean, they're in the tag division, and of course they want to be Santana. I would have found a way to justify it because it would have been Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley in the ring together.
Right.
You know.
There you go. This match doesn't make sense. But you have planted seeds in the ring, so let's eliminate what doesn't make sense and have the 2 guys that are your main focus right now.
Yep.
But no, instead it's
plus you could plant the seeds with Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz too.
There you go.
In
That's
that match.
another Revolution match. There you go.
So
doesn't have to have a title on the line. I'm down for them too.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Like it's bad because with WWE, I mean, you've been around for a minute. I don't care about shit like that. I really don't. I'm the easiest guy to please. I don't care. I keep it kayfabe. But with AEW, I pay attention to shit like that. And like we both just said, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. It's like I'm pretty easy to please like you know? So like when a company doesn't do shit that makes sense, you know, like WWE, I'm way more easy to forgive it because I just don't fucking notice it much. But AEW does a good job of like consistent and like intelligent booking. So like when they do something stupid like this, it's just glaring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so. And it wasn't even like it was a bad match or anything like that.
It wasn't a bad match at all, but it just didn't make sense. Speaking of WWE and bad booking, I meant to put it in my notes, but I didn't. They, at the start of this match, they made sure to mention that it was a single fall match. Remember the minute we had where WWE was like, everything's 2 out of 3, and we're going to have a commercial break after 2 falls, and then when we come back, it's a normal match. It didn't happen. There was no 2 out of 3. We just had to plug a commercial break.
Yeah. Or they'd like stop the match and restart it. It was so dumb. It was, oh my God. I'm so glad they didn't keep.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So Darby and Chris Jericho start this lacking of sense match. And Darby Allin, he's got skill, man. Like,
yo. He has a bright future.
He really does. He really does.
Yeah.
He was high flying. He was spot festy. Jericho held up with him for being 50 years old.
Well, Jericho still got it. I feel like Jericho definitely still got it. You know,
he really does. Other than that, there was really nothing. It was your basic tag the next guy in match, and nothing too spot festy. Jericho did hit a lion salt though. 50 years old, he's doing moonsaults, man. Like,
who else was like the only other person that I can think of off the top of my head that was crazy shit like that at that age was Terry Funk, man. Like, you know, who does that? Like, I'm not doing that now, and I'm only 35. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And like Terry Funk is in a class of his own. Like, you have like classes, and then you have Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Terry
I mean, he was a
Funk
maniac.
is a once in a lifetime wrestler. So, I mean, the dude like ate chainsaws for dinner. So I know. But it's so great. It's so good that Chris Jericho's still out there doing this. Jericho took a swanton bomb. Well, in the AEW they call it a senton, but it's a swanton bomb. I don't care what you say. Jeff Hardy for life. Okay.
Absolutely.
I thought he was gonna get pinned. And it was
so did I.
It was Darby Allin that did it, right? I don't know. I should have put who it was. I thought he was going to get pinned.
Well, if you remember, the only thing that I'll say is that like Jericho and Allin did have a championship match like right after they first went on air, like their weekly program Dynamite, like the second or third week. I don't remember. It was really, really early on. So like there was that. But that was, I mean, it was like you kind of had to dig. You know what I'm saying? So like it made sense to me that like Darby Allin and Chris Jericho were beefing a little bit, but like it was from like fucking 3 months ago, man. Like, you know, come like I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, you gotta fill the air with something, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't book perfect all the time. I'm still on board with AEW.
Oh, totally.
Another minor complaint, Jericho wins with the Judas effect. It's an elbow.
Yeah.
It's a freaking elbow, man. At least, like, give Jericho the clothesline from hell. It may have been a stupid finisher, but at least it looked like JBL took somebody's head off. I mean.
Yep. Yeah, this just looks like an everyday elbow. Like, I don't like, they, like, pushed the shit out of that thing before AEW started, too. Like, Jericho was, like, all over social media being like, I've been training for months learning how to do this Judas effect. And then when I saw it, I was like, how did you I could maybe do that, you jerk. You know what I mean?
I'll
like
do it right now. I'll do it right now.
Why did it take you months to train to learn how to do this? You know? I was like, what is going on? Whatever, though. You know? I mean, he's Jericho. He can get away with anything as far as I'm concerned.
That's valid. At least it's not a Bailey to belly suplex. Like, I mean, I can see the elbow knocking somebody out. The Bailey to belly suplex, I can see you starting a match after a lockup 5 seconds in.
Yep.
It is what it is. Chris Jericho gets the win. Inner Circle jumps their opponents after. Big old brawl. And then here comes one-eyed Jon Moxley coming to the ring with a baseball bat. I'm surprised he found the ring with his eye patch and his swollen, pus-infected eye that JR pointed out earlier in the show. And then it was a beatdown, and that's how our show ended. Excellent ending. It was a good ending.
Yes.
I mean, like, how do you take a bad match? You plant the more seeds at the end that you already planted.
Yep.
Let's go and plant more because we're ready to see Jon Moxley take his title. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Well, I mean, I thought it was cool that they let Moxley get over one on Jericho, too, after Jericho got over on him earlier on in the show.
You keep it even.
You know?
You keep it even. Because we all know Moxley's going to win.
Yep.
So you don't want to lopside it. Mm-hmm. Go back and forth.
And, I mean, how can you bury Jericho anyway? Like, even if you try to, it doesn't work. I mean, Christ, he's supposed to be a heel right now, obviously. And, like, the first episode of Dynamite, he was cheered more than anybody else, you know, that came out that night. So, like, he can do no wrong, you know, almost. Valid. You know? So, like, I don't know, you know? Even, you know, even if you do let Moxley get over on him a little bit more than Jericho, it doesn't, even to me, doesn't make Jericho look any weaker, you know?
That's valid. That's valid. They're definitely doing it well. They're keeping they're keeping us invested.
Yep.
I want to see the car again though. One more time.
Yeah.
One more time. Because it feels like you're lacking that. Because like here's this car, and we made this $8 billion car part of the storyline, but now it just kind of disappeared.
Yo, here's what would be badass. Jon Moxley drives it in like he did before at Revolution, wins the match, and then destroys the car.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I want to see it get destroyed. But I think Tony Khan's like,
Oh, he shit his pants, probably.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, I got money, but I have money because I don't buy $8,000 cars. Like,
and then destroy them.
$80,000 cars once a week. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's why I have money, guys.
Yeah. No, you're right. That won't happen, but that would be fucking cool.
I said the same thing, 100%. But meanwhile, you got Vince McMahon out there destroying Limo's face and faking his death. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there that was one of the best storylines in WWE history. People legit thought Vince McMahon was dead. Even non-kayfabers. I mean, I'm just saying, like, oh my God, how do you fake that? He was in the limo. He was there. He didn't get out. Just throwing it out there. Yep. That was our Dynamite. Good show. I enjoyed it, except for my couple of gripes. We're all gonna have gripes, some more than others. Yep.
I mean, overall, I'd give the show for like a weekly show like that an A. You know,
valid.
But I mean, you're right. There were a couple things that were off, but only a couple, and the high points were really fucking high. You know, and the low points weren't that low. You know, it was just a couple of little nitpicky things that held it back from being A+. As far as
I do have another gripe though that just kind of hit my skull, like just now.
Shut up.
No, where's Riho at? She hanging out with Brock Lesnar? Oh wait, Brock Lesnar is actually on TV.
Oh, throwing some shade.
For real though, where's Riho? Where you at?
Yeah.
And I mean, is she trying to come to the arena but she can't make it because the belt's too heavy?
Well, I hope they do something to like build this feud between her and Nyla before Revolution.
That's
something because that
like, man,
because they haven't planted any seeds or anything for that shit. Like you can see potentially what they're doing with the tag belts. Obviously, we know what they're doing with the championship, the main championship. But yeah, what are they doing for the women's? You gotta have something.
Like, we thought Statlander was going to win the title, and then she didn't, and that was 3 weeks ago. We haven't seen Riho since. What are you doing?
Yep.
Like, you're not even there to cut a promo. Like, okay, you can't speak English? Look what they're doing with Asuka. Best promo.
Yeah, I know.
Best promo of the week.
And then she'll say something.
I didn't mean that's no offense right there. I'm not making fun of any Japanese. But that's what I hear. And it's the best freaking promos ever. I don't know what you just said, but you got her, girl. You got her. Get her again.
Yeah. Well, the best part is with her is that every once in a while she'll say something in English, and you're just like, "Oh shit, she really needs business now." You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and it's awesome.
On you, like,
yeah, yep.
It is what it is. But come on, like, it can be not Riho, and I'd shut my mouth. Riho doesn't need the title. That's the problem. I think I want Riho to lose it more than I want Becky to lose hers.
Oh man,
I really do.
I definitely do.
The problem is Becky Lynch, I'm just tired of seeing her. No offense. She's done her job well. I'm just ready for a change.
Yeah, me too.
You don't deserve the title.
Well, you know what? I thought she was a decent first champ because it was a cool story, like David and Goliath thing with her and Nyla.
Look at me. Look at her. She's 90 pounds and she won the title. Okay, cool. Now what?
Yeah. Oh, agreed. I think that her time is just up because I didn't think she should have as long as she's had already. But like, it was cool to see a face win that title as the inaugural champion, especially because they let Jericho win, as a heel, which was obviously the right move, But yeah, I feel like it's time for both of those titles to change because I mean they already had the tag titles change hands once, it's time to move on.
Valid. That's about it. That's about it for tonight's show. That's about it for my gripes. I'm sure I'll come up with one later. Like, I'm going to have a dream. And be like, oh, I forgot one.
AEW sucks.
Tweet. AEW, boo.
I'm going to NXT.
I couldn't do it. For those that don't know, I tried NXT. But then again, I tried NXT when it was only an hour long. I'm sorry, I can't invest in an hour long show. It's just, I
gotta tell you, man. I watch both, and for me, it's a toss up between which show is better on a weekly basis. Like if I had I wouldn't if I had to choose two shows to watch, it would be NXT and AEW, hands down. Like, I wouldn't bother with Raw or SmackDown. I like both of those shows too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not a WWE hater or anything like that, but it's like AEW and NXT. They're just better. Like,
That's valid. I don't know. I don't have time to watch 15 wrestling shows a week. That's my problem.
I hear you.
That's my shade on NXT. It's not shade at all. I've grown to like AEW, and I can't do both. I choose one, and I'm on that side. That's it.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's a lot more wrestling out there that I'd like to watch, and I was just like, nah, man. Like, I want to, no, I mean, seriously, I want to, NWA Power looks sick as fuck.
Yes.
I'm not, no. I used to watch 205 Live all the time. Nah, that's definitely, I really liked it too, but it's out with all this other stuff. There's just better product out there as far as I'm concerned. I watched Ring of Honor for a while. I mean, that obviously went down the tubes, but no, I'm pretty much full on my wrestling plate right now, so, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. I like what I'm watching, and I enjoy myself, and that's what's most important,
That's about it.
Yeah.
And that's our show. That's what we got for you guys tonight.
All right.
AEW superior over NXT.
100%.
Yeah.
Inner Circle's coming for you, bro. Sorry.
Sammy Guevara. Y'all they gonna shit themselves when they see him.
Yeah. For sure.
Thanks for listening, guys. Drop comments. Let us know. Let us know even if you don't like it. Let us know any criticism. Let us know anything. If you liked it, you don't like it. Hit us up on Twitter. 2 words, can't see me. Kevin Crazy 316. Thank you for listening, guys.